Hello and welcome back to Railway Empire. We are going to be heading off to Great Britain and Ireland. It is a DLC, well, was a DLC. And with the announcement that Railway Empire 2 is on the horizon, sometime in 2023, possibly next year, I think, it's probably a good time to play, isn't it? I need to finish off all the scenarios, and this is one that's on the to-do list. Maybe even finish off the campaign as well, as we've learnt a lot since I played that. It was a long time ago. It was the first thing I did, I think. Possibly. I don't know, it's that long ago. So, Transport Revolution is the scenario. The last years have seen an industrial progression of overwhelming magnitude. As the streets and canals have not been able to cope with the enormous requirements of the industrial centres anymore, the first steam locomotives started to roll. In these days, a handful of engineers and businessmen kicked off a transport revolution arising from the United Kingdom. Yeah, I changed the wording a little bit in that. It felt clumsy. But anyway, it's a medium scenario, 1830 to 1850, so early days. We are starting in Liverpool, AI level. Go for it. Very hard, no, not normal, very hard. Realistic, pause mode, normal. I don't want to go on anything else, Trianic or anything like that, for recording purposes. That way we can go into build mode to pause the game if I've got to waffle on or explain what I'm doing. I've gone for my wife's name here. I set up all the naming so you didn't have to hear me typing. We've got the Great Western Railway as our company name. She's going to talk over me, isn't she? They always do this on this screen, the character select screen, but we can't choose anybody else. And for those of you who watch me, you'll know this isn't my ideal character. It's against my playstyle completely. Gains 70% less innovation points, so I guess that's not something we need to worry about, but auctions are 30% cheaper. 3 times as many applicants from spies. That is not my style, is it? No, I'm all about the industry. That's what I go for. So this is going to be a tricky one for me.
Stevenson. Robert Stevenson. Pleased to meet you. As you might know, I am known for a certain expertise in building and handling steam locomotives, and I look forward to collaborating with you. One of the very first railway lines has been opened up between Manchester and Liverpool recently, unfortunately only on paper. Let us make these plans become reality.
So we've got Liverpool, Manchester, right next to each other, Wrexham as well. That'll be a tricky build across to Wales, won't it? Just a little bit. I have paused it because goodness me does he speak slow. And I've also set the game speed for the beginning, only for the beginning, to 50% so that we can get as much built as possible as soon as we've got money. We start off with our £800,000. That seems a lot for 1830. And we've got our bonds that we can take out. I think we'll leave the bonds and see what we can build. Do we have... we've got Leeds up there as well. And Hull right across... on the East Coast Main Line, that would be, wouldn't it? Is Leeds on the East Coast Main Line? I feel like it is. It sort of branches round like that, doesn't it? And then reverses out from Hull and heads up that way to Newcastle. Is that right? I'm rusty on the East Coast Main Line. I only know it as far as Peterborough. Oh, my hometown's on there, guys. That's wonderful. So we can have the East Coast Main Line. There's London down there somewhere then. There we go. What else have we got? Brighton, Dover, Oxford, Southampton, Bath, Yeovil, Barnstable. Plymouth seems to be as far as we go. Cardiff, Swansea, Hereford. What else have we got? I've said Oxford, haven't I? Northampton, Birmingham. Good, Birmingham. Oh, that's the West Coast Main Line goes through there, doesn't it? Yeah, Hereford we've said. What have we got up north? Middlesbrough, Carlisle, Newcastle, Dumfries, Ayr, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Dundee, Fort William, Inverness, Is that as far as we go north? Nope, Thurso. And Aberdeen at the corner there. I missed Aberdeen. There we go. Do we have any of Ireland then? We do indeed. It's a bit separated, isn't it? We've got Belfast, Derry. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sligo? That's what we'll go with. Galway. Limerick. Oh, Tralee. Cork. I'm going to trip over these, aren't I? Waterford. Kilkenny. There, we've got Dublin. I think I might have said Dublin. I might not have. Belfast. There we go, guys. Northern Ireland and Ireland, all there. And, well, not all of it. Limited amount of cities. So what are our tasks? We need to read this quickly. Our first task is to connect Manchester and Liverpool. We'll get straight out of there then. Get into our track building. We do want to be mindful of our expansion later on. I guess starting up this side with a possibility of heading down to Wrexham later. I don't think we can quite build it as it is in real life. We're not going to be starting with a terminus either. Let's start off. Couple of small train stations. I want to start off minimal. Do I? No, I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with this one. I think this is a good start, isn't it? 100k. How much for the big ones? I don't know how much we're going to have for this. So, well, it's 120k for the... Do you know what? I'm going to go for it. That leaves us open for expansion, doesn't it? I mean, well, this really needs to be a terminus, but starting off with 300k seems a bit much. I'm going to start with these. We need it right up there. We will turn it into a terminus, I think, though. For now, this will solve a lot of our issues because I would like to get a whole bunch of stuff going. As far as freight deliveries go, anyhow. How are we going to get round to Liverpool, though? It's a rough bit of terrain, isn't it, to get across there. This is at least flat, where we can build our stations. Right, let's go with that. Already spent a fortune. We'll go from there. We want to keep it as flat as possible, ideally. Just connect it, and then we'll shimmy it around a bit. Let's connect at the bottom. Oh, that might be a bit rough. That's expensive. We're not doing that, I don't think. Yeah, way too many bridges. I don't know how many bridges were built around here, but I mean, the grade is awful, isn't it? If we bring that down a little bit, will that help us? 5%. Can we get better than 5%? 4%? 4%'s rough early on, isn't it? Are we buried a little bit down here? Is that the problem? 3% grade, 1%. That is awful. This is a terrible, terrible starting location. 3% is... I would like to get 2 if it's possible. We can get 2, but how about 2 without a bridge? Oh, there we go. If we scoot out just a little bit, we can get 2%. And then another 2 there. That's sort of beautiful, isn't it? 2 there. Get rid of that bridge. We don't need 5%, but if we can continue with 2, there's a horrible amount of bridges here. Oh, there we go. 2%. Nice and steady round there. A decent bridge. I think that's about as good as we're getting it, isn't it? Yeah. There's not much we can save on that, and it's a pleasant grade, isn't it? It's not bad. Yeah, 0%, 2%, 2%, 1%. Some of that's going to be downhill, maybe. I mean, we've got a bit of an embankment going on there, straight through the cow pasture. All right, I think we'll take it. It is a fortune, but it will be our first task. Take it.
With this railway line, we will finally make the railway accessible to the broad population. But it seems like the public and the investors are still reserved. As soon as we create more successful lines, this will change.
Will indeed. We will create more successful lines. We're going to need a passing loop. I don't know if we're going to have enough money to double track it immediately. as we spent a fortune on the initial route. Right, achieve an average balance of 4,500 quid with at least, well, that's a leap, isn't it? We've gone connect Manchester and Liverpool to build all the things. Well, we're going to have to get a lot going, aren't we? I mean, we've got Leeds up there. Look at how many rivers we've got to deal with. Welcome to the UK. Squished down. Everything is rivers. Wrexham as well is like on an island. Oh dear. The island of Wales. That's what that looks like if the river continued all the way through. We'll see to their basic demands. That'll be a few lines, won't it? Apples surely are going to be early on. We've got meat down there. We've got some milk up there. Fish. I don't know what that is. I want to say salt maybe. We've got some wood there. Leeds looks like they're going to need the meat. As well as Liverpool. Don't know what that is. Drink of some sort. Do we have that? We've got potato down here. Is that potato alcohol? That's a thing, isn't it? Well, I mean, it was a sake, right? Yeah, sake. I still can't remember how to pronounce it. If we double track it, how much is it going to cost us? 65k. That's actually not too bad and would save us quite a few headaches and plenty of branching room. Yeah, okay, we're doing it. Let's get us some signals in. Thankfully, they cost us nothing. We want to be running with my signals on the outside because that just pleases me aesthetically. Okay, we're good. We've still got to get in repairs, haven't we, as well? Where would be the best repair? I mean, but ideally both. But we'll start there. We'll upgrade this one with a maintenance yard. How much are you going to cost us? 80k. Oh dear. Everything seems so expensive when I'm not playing my usual people. We're going to need us a water tower or a supply tower as well, just before the bridge should do. Lovely. About halfway, isn't it? Almost. I know we wiggle out here, but it was to save us from terrible, terrible grades. Right, we've got plenty of room for manoeuvre. What we should do is at least get 2 lines running. I'm going to separate the lines. I'm going to have a Liverpool to Manchester and a Manchester to Liverpool, even though they could technically be the same line. That way they could maybe extend differently beyond that if we do want to do more than point to point, which I sometimes do. Yes, right. Set up new rail line. We'll do Manchester to Liverpool. Loading. I'm going to go with automatic to start with, so we can take a mixture of stuff. That should be good, shouldn't it? We'll just stick it on automatic, just get it running, and add a locomotive. We start off with the rocket. A bit weak. It's only going to cost us 29k though. Right, you get going, and then we'll start another line from Liverpool to Manchester, automatic, and we'll get that same one on there, and we're good to go. So let's see what else we can do. We're going to need basic goods, aren't we? That is cider. So that's apples. There we go. We've got plenty of apples. What are you going to need? So we've got barley, fish, apples, straight apples. Then we've got cider. And then we've got ham. I don't know whether we can afford to buy these. It would be nice. Oh, not even close. Not even close, guys. We're definitely not buying those. Can we buy, like, the apple place? How many are you taking? 100%. 171? I mean, it's 100% shipping. It's a little bit expensive. Was fish one of the early requirements? Fish is. Are you delivering fish at the moment? You're at 100%. It's horrible. No, you're not. You're at 42. I was reading the wrong figures. 85%. What are you at? 42. I'd like you to get lower. 0% on milk. Where's milk in the great scheme of things? Is that close? 50,000. It's a long way away, isn't it? Our trains are on the way, guys. There we go. Let's have a quick look on our train here. Not clone it. We want to get on board. Centre on train I think, because we want to see it, don't we? There we go. You're just about pulling all of that. No passengers yet, but we're getting our freight moving, which is lovely. There we go. We'll have our usual cab rides at the end as well. Oh, it's good to be playing Railway Empire again. I want apples, but I don't want to buy you at 85%. I'm going to buy the fish. 150k. We're going to do it. Oh no, we've got to go up against people, haven't we? Go on, let me have it. Auction should be cheaper though, right? Auction is over. How much did we actually pay for that? We have 30% less, don't we? I'm pretty sure it didn't take the full amount, the 150k. I mean, that's kind of nice. That means cheaper most things if they're up for auction. Yeah. Maybe. What are you at? 71. You are dropping. That's lovely. I will take out some bonds once we've got some more infrastructure. I would like to get fish to both Manchester and Liverpool early on. Yes, definitely. They're both going to require it, aren't they? And since we own it now, we'll make a little bit more off that. Leeds has to be an early thing. I don't know whether we can fit into Leeds from the other side of the river there. We can't, can we? We've got to be right up there. It's going to be so close to the edge. Oh dear. Maybe we can get it in. It's going to be pricey, but it's going to be when we take bonds out. We're going to get some smaller tracks going, smaller stations. They're going to be much cheaper, like 40k, but it's going to be pricey to get them in there. I would like to get them going if I can. These have got to be... Where do you want to sit? Ideally, you want to be on this ridge, I think. That should take out some of the grade, shouldn't it? If we go a little bit further back, can we sit something like that? Fortunately, you get refunds for everything you do. And we go in there. That is a cutting and a half, but it is 0% grade with a really, really small bridge. I mean, would we save much by not having a cut-in? Not really. In fact, we lose a bit, don't we? Yeah. I'm never going to see that. Oh, well, there you go. 70 something. Yeah, there is a 70 something there, isn't there? And it's pretty much the same. It's just a little bit cheaper. If we put one there and we shift that one back up here, as long as it stays at 0% over this way. Now, can we get round that way? 71k with a little bit of a wiggle. We've still got the same cutting, but I think the actual track length's a little shorter, isn't it? 33 miles. Yeah, I think we cut our travel time a little bit. What about round here? Can we get this down even further? 32 miles. There we go. 32 miles. I like it a little bit better. We do introduce a grade if we're not careful. That needs to go up. There we go. 32 miles. 0% grade. Mega cutting. Just a little bit. Only 69k. We're not going to be able to afford a train on it. And we're definitely not going to be able to afford anything else, are we? Do we even have a repair centre in here? We don't, do we? No. Oh dear. Well, here we go then. I mean, we are making money. Sort of. Slowly, but surely. How much of a bond can we take out? Let's see. Oh, there's our... Oh, yeah, I haven't looked at these. We've got Beatrix. Oh, Beatrix absolutely loves me. Your company's worth 2.1 million. We've got Don McLeod. Doc Murphy. McLeod? McLeod. Maybe. Doc Murphy and us. What's ours? Well, ours is 1 million. I'd like to buy you out immediately so we don't have to deal with you. What did we get here? We got a headhunter. And we get more of these. No, we get more spies, don't we? Well, spies is kind of cool. Because spies are the ones who steal stuff, right? They steal off the research tree. That does go hand in hand with the fact that we get less innovation points. So we shouldn't Well, I guess we should still go with, like, universities and stuff. Okay, okay. We've already built 184 miles of track and have 2 trains. Right. How much of a bond can we take out? 241,000. That might get us going. In fact, that might connect us up to Leeds as well. Let's do it. Let's take that. 241, and we'll take 259 as well. We've got another 500,000 to spend. We should get building then with a... Oh, this is a bit risky, but like I said, we do get a refund. So if it doesn't seem ideal, we'll go for the refund on this. And then we can get Leeds connected into the whole situation as well. That first bridge is going to be quite a nightmare, isn't it? Yeah. We want this track, I believe, to curve round into... It'll be there, wouldn't it? Oh, that's cheap as chips and only a 1% grade. Do you know, I'm going to take that, guys. That is amazing. Right, 57k, and how much to double it up? Another 41k. Right. We need to make sure we signal you up. We'll get that all sorted, and we'll put a water tower on. Supply tower. Definitely. We're going to need a supply tower on our single track here. Probably. Will we need more than one fish? Well, not a singular fish. I meant one fish train. Say what you mean. We'll get that in there. We do want a supply tower. It's kind of embedded a little bit into the cutting. That should have cost more. Thankfully, it doesn't. We will need a two-way signal here, won't we? Otherwise, it will block that whole junction, I think, if I remember correctly. So we'll get you there. And we're going to need a signal up here as well, but we need to double track that first, as we need to send off stuff to Manchester, don't we? Yeah, it's going to be quite the journey round there. So we'll put that in 15k. That way we can get a signal on here and on there. There we go. That's going to be our Manchester train. I don't think it's worth sending it all the way down here, even though we already have track, because that's going to be a lot shorter. And we avoid rivers. I'm just not sure about the terrain. We can also have an apple station going. If we're going to do that, though, you might as well just go full on. Could have a warehouse as well. We're going to have to be careful on how much we're spending here and how we can sit this up here. That's a bit rough. I would prefer you not all over contour lines, ideally. We might not have a choice, though. Well, there's pleasant-ish, I guess. It's just not nice, is it? No, if I do put that in there, we need to get more trains running, obviously. If we can scoot you... Oh, that's awful. Absolutely awful. 9% grade is a no. No. Right, get rid of you. Where do we need to be then for that to be a much better grade? Oh, it's terrible, isn't it? We don't want to be coming off there at all, really. We'd probably be better off having the second station up on there. Maybe we can get away with this. If we do 2 there, where do we need to be? We need to be just here. 2% I'm willing to take. But that means we need to be... It's up right on a hill, isn't it, that? Yeah, that's a horrible layout. Not that I'm giving up on this idea. I mean, there's no way we can get a station down this low unless we can sit where that is, I guess. Let's get rid of that. We could have a smaller station, maybe, and get it down there. I would like this big. We could also go with a warehouse. We're going to have to bypass it. And maybe go over the top. Oh, that ain't a bad idea. Because we did have it low and in a cutting, didn't we? If we bring that down to 2%, we could have a cutting up here and go over the top with the apples and meet it at the other point. Do you know, that might work. That is pricey, isn't it? Goodness me. We can get it down to 119. Oh, no, you've made it worse. I think we've just got to go for the big payday, haven't we? On this one, we've got to get them growing as fast as possible. Okay, we're down to 110. That's pleasant. Can you go lower? 111, but a better grade. Can you go lower? 113, again with a better grade. I want to avoid these tunnels if we can manage it. I guess we could move that one further back, couldn't we? If we came off there instead, would we be able to get a better... Yeah, we could go round there, couldn't we? Right, I'd like to get rid of that then. And then we'll delete this back from that point there. There we go. That means we should be able to snap into there. Bring this round. The initial setup for this, we're down to 105, is always a little bit tricky, isn't it? 103, I prefer that. I want to keep those 4s and 2s out though. There we go, 2 round there. 2, 2. 102, I think that's the best we're going to get. 200 and we can afford to set something up. Get you in there. Did I ever put... I didn't put it in, did I? Will we have enough? Let's quickly build this, because that's going to absolutely be needed. Let's set up this line at the very least. We want to go from there to there. And we want freight only. And we would like... Wait until full? I think that's going to be the order of the day, isn't it? Wait until full. And then Liverpool... You should be fine at Liverpool. Freight only. Get you on there. Let's get another rocket on. Now, we could start off this way, couldn't we? It's a bit of a journey. We would need a supply tower, which are 30k plus the rocket. I guess we could send the rocket. Maybe. How much do we have in here? We've got plenty. Right. Quickly build it, and then we'll call it for today, folks. We've got a decent setup, haven't we? Right, freight only. Hopefully we'll have enough money. We can't take any more bonds out, so this is either going to work or it isn't. And we'll get you going. That is now for just 8.8k left in the bank. That is now 4 lines running, making us money. We've got another payday coming in here. If we can get us a water tower in here, it'll be beautiful. We'll also need a one-way or a two-way signal down at Manchester's burst station. I would really like enough money to get a water tower on this, supply tower on this massive run. How much do we need? 30k? Well, that's not happening. I think that's, well, maybe it's going up. 30k. And we've got another payday coming in there. We've got another payday on the way down here. We are close, guys. Can we get our money in before we have to pay for anything? We're in 24th of February. Oh, no, 1830. When have we got to get this done by? 1832? Goodness me. Right, well, it all depends whether we can get this in, and then I'll be happy and we can save it, get on board one of these rockets, and prepare for the next episode. Do it. 30k. There we go. We've got it. Supply tower in the cutting. Lovely. Is that about halfway-ish? Probably a bit further down there. We have 834 quid in the bank. I am happy. There's our initial build. Very freight orientated as per usual. Somehow we managed to afford it, even with bigger stations. I would have liked to get another passenger service running from Leeds. But we need 29k. This would have been important for us, I think. Because we want to keep our freight moving. And that's a decent journey. So we don't want them stuck. They're really struggling with that grade. And we are going to get another payday, aren't we? Soon? Yes, we've got some freight coming in here. Can we get the money to buy another rocket? How much do we need for a rocket? Let's set this up. Manchester to Leeds. And yeah, automatic will be fine. How much do we need? 29k. Come on, please, please. It'll be a perfect end to the episode. 29k. We can even get it. We can even get on board that one. There we go. We have quite a few lines going. We've got our first passengers loading up as well. I would call that a successful start. And we're only in March 1830. And we've got until when? It doesn't say what month, but 1832. Alright guys, we're on board the Manchester to Leeds, or Leeds to Manchester service. We're going to add one going from Manchester to Leeds as well, to make sure that we have more lines running. What a lovely view that is. It does look a little bit UK-y, doesn't it? Hilly, definitely. This is nice, isn't it? We're on a rocket. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.